Hey Butch-Femme discussion, how's it going? It's Ashton. I'm supposed to be on Thursdays, but I'm posting a day late because I had some major technical malfunctions with my camera yesterday. My camera downloads things, or rather records things in .mov files, which I guess is a QuickTime file, but the video I made was too long, so I needed to cut it down, but I couldn't get it to upload into OneTrueMedia, or since it was a QuickTime file, it wouldn't upload into Windows Movie Maker, and so then I tried to find a converter to convert it to Windows Movie Maker file, and they only converted like 20% of the video because it was like a free version of like the $30 version. So I apologize for being a day late. Okay, anyways, this week's topic is I guess Butch-Femme dynamics, what Butch means to us, what Femme means to us. So I guess I'll just go ahead and start with what Butch means to me. Like I touched on in the last video, or the first video I made, Butch to me isn't really so much like a sexual orientation identity as it is my gender identity. You know, like Butch describes how I interact with people, how I walk through the world, how I hold myself, how I interact with, you know, women. And like mainly Butch, I consider myself an old school / old fashioned Butch. You know, I'm not technically old school per se because I wasn't really around, you know, I'm only 20 years old, so I wasn't really around when that, you know, type of society was, I don't know, where those types of interactions were not, you know, founded or whatever. But I very much so, you know, like chivalry and like being a gentleman. I like opening doors for femmes or women, and I like, you know, standing up when a woman enters the room. I like, you know, anything that, you know, this sort of masculine gentleman type way. It's also, sometimes it's hard to make that reconcile with my feminism, because I do consider myself a feminist, so I know some things within chivalry and things like that are, you know, generally kind of sexist and imply that, you know, women can't take care of themselves, but to me it's more of me showing that I care about a person and can take care of them. And my feminism also kind of integrates into my butch identity in the way that I think, you know, it's absolutely mandatory to treat women / femmes with respect. You know, I would never call a femme or any woman a slut or a bitch, because those are, you know, to me those are words I would never call a woman, because that's just unacceptable, you know, just the connotations, especially slut, because that, you know, implies that there's something terribly wrong with women who enjoy sex, which I don't believe at all. Anyways, as far as, oh, I also wanted to touch on top surgery. I know I've mentioned that I want to have top surgery and that I plan to have it, but I wanted to clarify that I don't want to have top surgery because I want a male body. I want to have top surgery because I want to have a butch body that fits me and fits who I am as a person. You know, I don't want to be flat-chested because I want to be a dude and want to be read as male by society. I just want my body to look like I feel it should look like, you know, and to feel like it's fully representative of my butch, genderqueer, androgynous identity. I guess I'll talk about being femme, or what femme means to me, and, you know, I don't identify as femme, so I do apologize if I get this wrong. I know another poster earlier this week looked up the definition of it in the dictionary or something, and it said passive, and I've got to say I really don't agree with that. To me, like, being femme is not about being passive at all. Like, to me being femme is embracing your femininity and having strength and security in your femininity. Like, to me, a femme is a woman who is proud to be a woman, who is outgoing, intelligent, well-spoken, you know, doesn't take shit from anybody. You know, that's the kind of, like, femme personality that I love and that I'm attracted to. You know, is outgoing women who, you know, are intelligent, who are educated, who want, you know, to really do things in the world with their time. So I don't think, to me, being passive doesn't fit into femme identity at all, but, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, it's just kind of like, to me, femmes are secure in their femininity in the way that I'm secure in my masculinity, and that's what makes, you know, that great Butch-Femme dynamic. Another thing that I love about femmes that I haven't, you know, have yet to experience and sort of like was tuned into by the book So Much Blues is that femmes understand, like, the butch way of life. You know, the girls I've dated, none of them have identified as femme. I've actually never met anyone in person who self-identifies as femme because there's really no Butch-Femme community here. But a lot of them just don't get how hard it is to be butch on a daily basis. And a lot of femmes seem to understand that, which I appreciate more than I can put into words. Just as a quick example, there was a time when I was at my girlfriend at the time, this was about 2 years ago, went down to this cafe close to downtown, and we walked in, and it was like immediate, like everyone turned around and stared at me. It was like old, you know, southern boy type, you know, a bunch of old white dudes, cowboy hats, and it made me really uncomfortable. And I told my girlfriend at the time, and she was just like, "What are you talking about? I don't see why you have to make a big deal out of this. You know, like, why are you ruining dinner? Why can't we just sit here and have a nice dinner? I don't understand why you're upset and, you know, blowing this out of proportion." And I was just kind of like, okay, that's the last time I mentioned that, you know, and that was actually really hurtful to have your feelings, like, invalidated by someone you're dating or someone else within the lesbian community, for God's sake. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I really appreciate femme identities and femmes understanding what we go through. I guess the last thing I wanted to touch on is that I know I for myself used to really perceive Butch-Femme as a sort of really archaic, you know, heteronormative dynamic. And it's really not about that, because I'm not the man in my relationship, I'm the butch in my relationship, you know? I'm not a man. I have to deal with things every single day that men don't have to deal with, you know? I don't get to walk down the street or through, you know, the hallways of my school without getting stared at. So I have a really big issue with people calling the Butch-Femme dynamic heteronormative, and I just wanted to touch on that. Okay, well, I want to make sure I don't go over with this video too, so I'm going to stop it there, and I will see you guys in a week. Peace, everybody.